Welcome back, Fight Fans. I go by the name of Ak.
And I'm Barack the Boxing Bully.
And we have a new guest on the line, son of a legend, but making his own legendary name, none other than Tim Tszyu.
What's up, champ?
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure having you. You know, we ran into your father in Uzbekistan at the WBC convention and had a nice little chat about you, and he's so proud of his sons. One thing I want to point out, I noticed that throughout your career, you've been a pro for about 8 years. You know, when you look at the guys that you face, you know, they all like have pretty much all of them have winning records, right? Like I don't see guys on your record that were 2-25 and 5-30, like a lot of prospects coming up, right? Most of them have decent records. Is that something that was like planned out? Like, did your father give you advice? I don't want you to fight easy fights all the way through. I want you to be tested everywhere. Your trainer, was that like premeditated and kind of orchestrated?
No, not really. In all honesty, if I was given someone with 2 wins and 20 losses, it's like a waste of time for me. So in my head, I would have never really done that anyway.
You know, I never saw you in person. BoxRec has you 5'8.5". Is that your true height? For some reason, you look taller.
Nah.
That's what I thought. How tall are you?
No, I'm 5'10", actually.
That's what I thought, because I was like, wait a minute. I said, he's fighting Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman looks small. Tszyu looks huge. And then I look on BoxRec, I'm like, no, this can't be. If you guys are eye to eye, that's crazy.
If he's 5'10", he's shorter than me because I'm 5'11".
Yeah, okay. You're going to see he's taller than you.
Hey, listen, Tim, I'm going to address the negativity first, right? The potential negativity and what I've seen on the internet. Being that Thurman is moving up in weight, there's always that factor there. People will say, hey, you fought a welterweight, or you beat a welterweight. How much does that worry you, and does that concern you at all?
Nah, don't really care. Critics are critics.
Right.
I don't think you should care, because your record is spectacular at 154. The only guy you didn't fight was Jermell Charlo. You fought everybody else. You beat champions, you beat everybody. So it really doesn't matter, you know. But I wanted to know, Keith been in the game for a long time. You know, he was a champion when you was, you know, in the amateurs. Were you ever a fan of his?
Nah, not really.
So nah. What do you think of his style?
Like it's like, I don't know, I don't really, never a fan of it. Was never I was never crazy about it.
Wait, 1 second.
Who was I a fan of? Man, I loved Triple G. I was really big with just watching Triple G back in the days. Floyd Mayweather, he dominated an era, you know. But back in the days, like Trinidad, Vargas, I used to love those type of fighters.
You know, you mentioned Triple G. I would love your take on that series between him and Canelo Alvarez, because that's a guy that you'd be willing to fight Canelo Alvarez. Do you agree with some of the critics that felt that Triple G won the first 2 fights or the first one? Like, what's your take on all those 3 fights?
I think it was close. I think every fight was close. I think Triple G might have just edged the first one. Mm-hmm. The second one, I think Canelo, and then Canelo got the third one easy.
Okay, that's cool. I appreciate you being honest. Now, you headlined on Showtime before, so how did you feel? I'm asking every boxer that. How did you feel when they bowed out of boxing?
Yeah, I was a bit upset. You know, it was a big era throughout the days. You know, Mike Tyson back in the days, and you know there was so much history involved. But I understand there's, you know, the sport grows, there's the business grows, so there's new things always evolving.
Right. Well, were you nervous about that first, you know, about the news at first, because PBC didn't have a home yet, right? Nobody knew where the fights were going to be hosted. And obviously this Amazon thing comes between the time that Showtime bowed out and this deal with Amazon came about. How was that time for you? Were you scrambling and thinking, man, do I have to fight somewhere else on a different platform with a different promoter because I don't know what's going to happen? Was that your thought process?
No, there was a lot of trust, you know. PBC, they worked, I think, tight non-stop, endlessly on end, you know, to make it happen. And you know, like, I think this is it's a big thing. Amazon coming into the fight game. They've got a big audience, you know, so why not capitalize on that?
Right. Did you see Sean Porter said, you know, defiantly that Keith Thurman was going to beat you?
Yeah, he's going to be in a shock though.
Do you take stuff like that personally, or it doesn't bother you if people give predictions like that?
No, you know what? I find it good, because like if people think it's going to be one-way traffic, then it doesn't bring as much interest. You know, when you got different fighters saying different opinions, that's what it's all about. You know, people asking questions.
Good point.
You know what, Tim? Most fighters will say, you know, I don't care about anybody's opinion, right? But there's always somebody, maybe somebody you admire, somebody you look up to, whether it's family or another fighter. Is there anybody that if you heard them say something negative about you, it would kind of bother you? Is there somebody out there?
Yeah, I'm sure they have like the immediate family, of course.
Okay. What if your father said? I'm talking about as far as fighters, somebody in the business, somebody maybe you look up to. Let's say Triple G, if he says something like that, would you kind of be damn, I didn't expect that?
Yeah, I'd be heartbroken, man. I'd be heartbroken about Triple G.
No doubt. What's the best piece of advice that your father has given you regarding the sport of boxing?
Not just the sport, but I remember my dad always used to say, never give up, no matter what. And I remember that quote in a lot of life situations, just pushing you through, you know?
Yeah. Wow. You know, I think you're probably the best son of a legend ever so far, you know.
Boy, that's saying a lot. There've been a few good ones out there.
No, seriously. Like, I don't even think of his father anymore. Tim Tszyu he is already established. You already established yourself. We never have to talk about your father, you know. But do you think that you and your brother would ever be champions in the same divisions like the Charlos were, or you'll probably move on by then?
Oh man, Nikita's just 2 years in, so he's just starting. Hopefully by then either he stays in that weight or I move up. So I don't know, probably not.
You wouldn't fight each other, would you?
Nah, no way.
But do you guys spar in the gym? Do you guys fight in the gym?
Yeah, we had 1 week together, and he tried to get me the first time, and I got him the second time. So,
so he texted me. He texted me and told me that he dropped you before. I mean, I believe him. Why would he lie?
I'm coming for him then, bro. He's talking shit.
You know, but you know, how tough is that though? You know, I fought a lot of amateur fights, and I had a younger brother, and when we sparred, sometimes it got ugly, but because I was a little bit bigger, I would hold off. Do you ever hold back a little bit?
Nah, not with him, because if you hold back, man, you're gonna get knocked out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's one of those guys that, like, you have to switch on, you know? I've sparred a lot of people, and it's like, all right, you're 50-50 on it, but with Nikita, it's like, nah, you have to switch.
Right. So, like I said earlier, obviously, you've already established yourself. You're a champion. You deserve to be a champion in this division. But Keith Thurman is a big name. Are you more excited about this fight, even though he's coming from the welterweight division, than any other fight?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it doesn't get any bigger, you know? And the new platform and T-Mobile Arena, Vegas, you know, this is where dreams are made of.
That's right.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, obviously your name is synonymous with Jermell Charlo, and that's somebody that you've been wanting to fight for a long time to become undisputed. Did that desire kind of diminish a little bit after the Canelo fight? Did you feel like kind of, you know, did it deflate that urge a little bit because of how he performed against Canelo?
Yeah, I thought it was a weak performance, you know? Like, all right, if the other guy's better than you, at least have a crack, you know? His performance was shocking. I reckon he didn't come in to win. Better. Yeah, like, as a fighter, you come to win. You come to fight, you come to win. Mm-hmm. There was no fight, there was no win at all. It was like survival. You heard his coach, he was screaming in the corner saying, you're losing the fight, you got to change it up. And he's doing the same old running around.
All right. So listen, Tszyu, before we get out of here, we want to play a game with you real quick. It's called the Standing 8. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw 8 names at you, 8 boxers. It could be legends, it could be current fighters, and you have to tell us how the fight would end between you and them. Either you win a unanimous decision, split decision, draw, knockout, or maybe you lose. You know, if it's a legend, you never know. So we're gonna start right now. You ready?
Yeah.
First one is Keith Thurman.
Oof, he's too small for me, man. I reckon I get him in. I reckon I get him in the later rounds.
Tito Trinidad.
Oof. I reckon decision win.
Winky Wright.
Decision win.
Okay.
Triple G.
Draw.
Oh, nice. Respect. I respect that. Jamel Charlo.
Oh, KO.
Canelo Alvarez.
Decision win.
Terrence Crawford.
KO.
Roy Jones Jr.
Ooh. Roy Jones beats me.
Wow, that's it. The standing 8, brother. Good stuff, man. And
listen, it's
good
a
luck.
pleasure chopping it up with you. Looking forward to this fight, man. You're a pleasure to watch, and good luck moving forward.
Appreciate it, man.